before we get out of here, Molly May. She was out here lighting up the internet. Lighting up the internet. I'm going to be honest with you. I watched the whole thing.
Never. Did you?
I did.
Go on.
Either you got time or you're just a nice guy, man. She has nothing to say. God forgive me for saying this. Molly May, I doubt there'll be a time in my life, and I could be wrong, where you will string a couple of sentences together that I will go, that was very informative. Like at no point. So I couldn't watch 15 minutes of her speak, you know? The only double M I like is Maybach music, not Molly May. I like that Maybach music. Sweet. I'm not on this.
I watched it because I've been watching some of the content of the guy that does those conversations, because he usually talks to a lot of like CEOs, people that run businesses or whatever, yeah. And the way that he started the conversation with Molly May was actually interesting to me, purely because the way that he put it was that, like, he was saying that Love Island's been around for a little while, but when you take like the last 3 or 4 years in particular, yeah, you've had the winner and the winners had brand deals or whatever it may be, but none of them have necessarily had the impact on social media and the element of whatever it is that she's got in the way that she has. So he wanted to sit there and unpack it with her. Now, obviously, I watched the conversation and I realized very early on, I realized a couple of things. One, she doesn't know.
Nope.
She doesn't know.
100%.
And two, there's a lot of things that she actually said in it that I know when she gets older and she has a lot more experience, she's going to have a change of opinion in. Yeah.
Hopefully.
So, yeah, I would hope so, to be honest. And I think it would be more so even just for her peace. And the reason why I say that is because I know I'm straying off a little bit, but there was one thing what she talked about a lot, which a lot of people are going through, yeah, is that constant need of wanting more and being dissatisfied after, like, you know, like you achieve something and it's the next, I need this, it's not enough, I'm not, like, when he was talking to her about it, she was talking about like never ever feeling fulfilled, never. It's like once one thing happens, she just constantly needs this other thing. She just needs that. She gets the bag and then that doesn't do anything. And then she does this and it's not doing anything or whatever. And that is like a thing that a lot of people are going through. But she didn't have a perspective. She didn't say anything, bearing in mind I'm a big man and that as well. So she didn't say anything that made me think, oh, I hadn't heard this before.
Serves you right for watching it. Serves you right for watching. What the God forgive. Naturally, God, if you don't forgive me, I've done so much. What the fuck is Molly May gonna say? This 19-year-old gal that's with Mr. Fury. No, 19-year-old gal. Let me finish. When she's in Love Island, she gets with the Fury. So realistically, now you're popular and famous, not just because of you being an attractive girl to someone, I guess, but or having 200 subscribers previously on YouTube. But you're with a Fury,
right?
You're with a Fury. The conversations the Fury family are in are global, which means that just by collateral damage, you're going to get attention. That's number one. Number two, you're on the biggest show in the UK when it's streamed. So there are two things now that you walk up that house with that you didn't have before, which are contributing to your success. More than you are even fucking aware. And at the age of 22, what the hell have you got? There's no struggle in this story for me. There's no like, it's all privilege. It's all privilege. Even the struggle will be privilege. So for you now to go and give advice and speak to a group of people to inspire them. I grew up on Bob Marley, my nigga. What the hell am I going to listen to Molly May in January about? Like, come on, man.
Devil's advocate though.
Drink some tea in front of a ramp. Tramp. Go on.
Even if you come from an element of privilege, you can still have an interesting story to tell in your success.
She went on Love Island. Tell me something interesting about Love Island now. No? Alright, tell me something interesting about being on Love Island, being the Fury, and now being whoever you are, pretty little thing or... Bro, that's not man's story, bro. Man, listen to Tupac. And today I listen to drug dealers rap, and I listen to people that are from genuine struggle in this global pandemic. Not Molly May. What a bag of nonsense. What an absolute bag of nonsense.
Okay. Yeah, because obviously where I'm gonna take it, I understand what you were saying. Now, the only thing I was gonna say is like on what you was talking about in regards to like the privilege and whatnot is that, you know, like Eddie Hearn, for example, you know, his dad was a boxer, has been a promoter, right?
Yeah.
And his dad had built a business that was a multi-million-pound business. We can say very respected in like the fields that he was in. Was it bowling, darts? Boxing,
sort of.
Yeah, like sort of boxing, but more a different sort of side of sport. Yeah. So with that, he's got a son that is naturally born in some privilege, which is Eddie Hearn, right? His dad's Barry Hearn. Eddie Hearn is a man who's of now
charismatic. He's amazing.
Right, hella privilege, whatnot. Yeah, but there is also something special that you have to be able to do, which I completely understand that this is very different to what I'm saying in regards to the Molly May thing. It's actually not even the same, and it is probably very irrelevant. But there's something special still that you have to be able to take something from a £1 million company to a £1 billion company. Like, you can't just have the spoon and you just do that. There's a lot of people that like.
Molly ain't done that, has she?
Well, some people might say that, see, like with the Pretty Little thing, that there's like an element of that excelled purely because of her whatever the fuck it is.
Her what?
Go on.
Like when Kanye West spoke about Lady Gaga getting that deal at Polaroid or whatever camera company it was. Bro, let me just educate some of you guys, because you lot think that there's this really special path. This is not school. This is not, year 7, and when I get to year 9, I take my SATs and everything. This is not school. This is life. When you leave and you're in life, I'm telling you, who you know is better than what you know. Molly May could have been Molly May. Her husband is a Fury. The Fury family are in everyone's mouth. She's going to get love by collateral damage. That's a whole different conversation we're having, Chuckie. There's so many layers to her apparent success. I can't say, how did you get there, and expect her to tell me a story. It just doesn't in my head. It doesn't compute.
See with the 24 hours a day thing, yeah?
Oh, it's a stinker.
Go on.
And the rappers that were agreeing with it, you lot are having stinkers, man. Some of you are my mates. I love you to bits, but you're having stinkers, fam. You thinking Molly May is going to tell my mum she has the same 24 hours as her? Or my mum end up losing her job during the pandemic? Losing half her pay. You think she got the same 24 hours as 19-year-old Molly May in Love Island, who gets to 22, gets with a Fury and has all of this blood? You're white. When you go on TV, 89% of the people in the fucking country are instantly will look at you on mute and go, I have something in correlation with her. I can relate to her. How can you go and work for Pretty Little Thing? Pretty Little Thing, when you know a lot of the clients in which you have are going to be from various different backgrounds, and give them information that cannot help them. That means you don't understand your consumer. That means you don't understand your business. That means you don't even understand where you are, how you got there, and why you're there. You're just speaking.
Yeah, I mean, look,
you're having a
you see the 24 hours in a day thing. I do think that is just a speaking thing, but I also think the reason why that's become just a normal, easy speaking thing to say is because this is just in hella success books. Like, this is something that has been regurgitated a million times.
I've heard that advice so many times.
Success book? Who wrote the book? Where are they from? What do they do? We need information. Stop living in a headline era because it's Twitter. Let's be triller than trill. If that book was created by the Western world, then that's who they're talking to them. They're not talking to me. They're not talking to you. I don't even know if they're talking to CALUM.
But could we not also say, that like... Also, I'm just trying to bring another argument to this.
Because you're being the what's advocate?
I'm playing the devil's advocate.
All right, and I'm here with Jah Rastafari. Continue.
But like, see, when I watched it, there was a lot of things that I felt that she said that was just mad to me. When she said that, honestly, that didn't stand out to me. And the reason why that didn't stand out to me, was because, one, obviously, I felt like there was a lot more madder things that she'd said. But also, I felt like, maybe sometimes we just have to take the sense out of nonsense, innit, yeah? And sometimes some people say things, it could be like, the sentiment could be right, and the message actually could be okay, but it's coming from the wrong person, yeah? And so, like, when I heard her say that, my mind took it as, she's saying we all have 24 hours in a day. So your circumstance or the disadvantage that you were grown up in or whatnot doesn't necessarily have to be the outcome of your life. Yeah. Now, what I see is when I saw the outpour on the internet or whatnot, yeah, and everyone was talking about the success thing or whatnot, in my mind, again, this is just me though, so I'm not saying how everyone can see this and interpret this, yeah, but like, let's look at success here, because a lot of people were saying, oh, well, you know, there's people that are born in, let's say, an African country like the Congo, like tell a poor person from the Congo that they've got 24 hours in a day. Well, you're measuring Western success by their success. Mm-hmm. There's a man who, when I went to Jamaica, this is the God's honest truth, yeah, facts this, yeah. Every day when I was in Jamaica, the last time I went, when we were driving to Ochi, there was a man who had a stall and he was selling coconuts there. He's there every day, every morning you'd see him, yeah. A light-skinned guy. And I had a conversation with him, like one of the times that I was there, yeah, and he actually felt like for him standing there selling the coconuts and that to man was success to him for where he come from.
Amazing. And
he made that happen however he made that happen. Bearing in mind, he's come from a place of disadvantage. There's money in Jamaica, but there isn't really.
No.
There's not that much opportunity there. Like, there's opportunity if you live somewhere else and you come there with your strong pound or your strong dollar and you build a yard or you whatnot. And also, what's happening as well is that sometimes people are not even using the locals to build up their thing. They're flying people over to build stuff. You understand what I'm saying? But there are certain people that are trying to work in a way that they can do what is success to them. So when I was watching it, I understood the outpour and I understood that it was definitely the wrong messenger. But also I was looking at the fact that it's like, let's try to not all judge success in the same way. Because even when you watch the conversation with Molly, yeah, from the way that she's even talking, it's like she hasn't even reached success yet. And there's a lot of people that would be looking at that saying, well, it's easy, like, that's success. You are a multi-millionaire, you're doing X, Y, and Z. What do you need X, Y, and Z for? You don't need nothing, you've made it. But her success, my success, your success, and this person's success is a completely different thing. So when someone does say, if someone turns around and says, look, if you work, and let's forget about this working hard thing, because working hard does not make you successful. No. There are people like some of our parents that worked 3-4 jobs, did all kinds of stuff, and worked hella hard and was still in the rut. Working smart is what can help you achieve certain things, whatever it is in your life that you might want. And I just personally think that we should be looking at this and saying, like, yeah, like, whatever success means to you, like, if you work smart and you try to do the smart things, not work hard, but try to, you know, do the smart things regardless of what situation and circumstance that you are in, you can achieve what you feel is success to you.
Now, Chuckie, what you've done is you've become a translator for Molly May, which is fantastic, but I'm not interested. This is what we're going to do in life. We're going to take a look at what someone said and judge them on what they said. Okay. It wasn't a tweet. It wasn't a comment in an interview. She had about an hour to make herself clear. And from my understanding, Chuckie, she didn't do very well. So, she said we've all got the same 24 hours. Let me take a look at the time in Jamaica right now, because then that will give us an indication if we all have the same 24 hours. Oh, we don't. It's a different time in Jamaica. So even in the literal sense, I don't have the same 24 hours as loads of different people.
But they have 24 hours in it.
No, but I don't have the same. This was going by what she said.
But are we going to be that literal?
I am, because you've had a podcast to explain yourself. You've explained yourself.
But isn't that obvious that she didn't?
No, it's not obvious. It's not obvious because she didn't say it. You're saying.
Did you take it as that?
No, it doesn't matter how I took it. She's a 22-year-old girl. Most of her consumers
are not. I don't think that you mean it. I get it.
No,
I don't
Chuckie. What I'm saying to you is, that's not. Chuckie, we have to be clear. She hasn't done a million podcasts for you to even know what the fuck she's talking about.
I think it's obvious.
Like, it's obvious to you as a man that in the journey of life you're here. She's 22. She's about fucking here.
But bro, what I'm saying is, it's obvious that, like, in England we are not in the same time as Australia.
Oh, I'm fully aware of that. But
that's obvious.
But I'm letting her know that when you, and she watches this, I know, when you do a podcast and you speak to people, you have to be clear. Especially as a 22-year-old girl who has the responsibility she has and then has the position she has. Because the moment she realised this would affect money, she does an apology.
Right.
This is, again, let's just go back what she said.
I don't think that would affect her money, by the way.
No, it may affect her money. It may, because she's done an apology.
Yeah, but that's probably because of... Do you know why she did an apology, bro?
I'm not saying it's going to affect her money bare, but it's going to affect something.
She did an apology because everyone was being overly sensitive about it, in my opinion.
If maybe I don't know if they're being overly sensitive. You know, the simple fact that I don't know what everyone's going through. After a pandemic, after we've had so much information about what the world's going through, after we've had so much information about what people in this country are going through, you're saying we got the same 24 hours. If that was the case, when I watched fucking England, I didn't see any white people get booed. Like, there's so many reasons why the timing of this, and it's just so idiotic. Anyone that goes, oh, we're being a bit, fuck you as well. Like, bro, you've got a whole team of individuals. You've got so much. You're privy to so much information. How the hell are you making errors like that? You're speaking to people in different social classes, going through different things after a pandemic. You're not doing this interview in 2018. It's 2022 where we're vexed at fucking number 10 for having a party. Like, that's where we are right now. So is it sensitive? I don't know, but I know the timing. I don't think I'm exempt from timing, but Molly May believes that she's exempt from timing. Well, clearly you now know you're not. So moving forward, when you make comments about success, when you make comments about moving forward or how we should behave as a group of people, what you should do, Molly May, is take yourself and be a part of these communities so you have a better understanding. So when you're speaking to these groups of people, you give them information that they can actually use, in opposed to information that you and about 10 people around you can use. I think that is better. Because if you gave that information to your friends in your house that are in probably similar circumstances, I would go, great advice, Molly. You've gone on the net and you've told a group of people that may not even obtain half of what you've made in your life in their lifetime.
But the thing is,
hear me out. So don't tell me that we're living the same life, because we're not. I want you to tell me that whatever success is to you, like you were saying right now, is very important. Make it more about the individual. You've generalized it. So because you've generalized it, you've involved a lot of people. And because you had involved a lot of people, they had the right to say something. And guess what? They did. You didn't like it. You apologized. You was wrong. Done. I know it sounds fucked, but that's what it is.
I think it was blown out of proportion.
It may have been, but like I said to you,
she's 22.
But Chuckie,
we got 24 hours in a day. Like, we all got 24 hours in a day. I understand.
Chuckie, pause again. I'm letting you know there was a COVID pandemic. We are privileged people within it. We don't have to work for no one. We work for ourselves. We manage our own money.
It doesn't change anything.
It does change something to me, because I've seen the effects of people that work for people, and then where I don't have to go to work and no one tells me nothing, I've had to see people that have gone to work and they're being told, yeah, you know, you've lost your job or you're out of work in 3 weeks.
That doesn't change anything.
But even as self-employed, I lost all my work.
Exactly. So why am I now telling you that we all got the same 24 hours? Because as a CEO, somewhere in this world, geezer, he didn't lose fuck all. Probably gained some stuff. So my thing is, I'm not going to now come forward. And I'm saying to you, we have to be very conscious. I told you on the podcast a month ago, the one thing I've learned is that global pain is a hell of a lot more important than one person's perception. Right. The pain globally we've gone through, I just think there was no thought process into what you're saying. Too much people have lost too much within 2 years for us to now be saying we're all in the same circumstances.
I don't think that's what she was saying.
No, but Chuckie, it doesn't matter because you don't know her. You ain't spent no time with her, nothing. I think what you're saying...
You're right. You
might be right.
Both, I think we have to say this here. We're both having our interpretations of what she's saying.
No,
right?
but Chuckie, but my only thing is I'm not trying to read in between the lines. What I'm doing, because she had a podcast,
I'm trying to take sense out of nonsense.
Yeah, but Chuckie,
and sometimes in life that's what we have to do.
No, I don't think we have to when you've got an hour to speak. If it was a quick interview and she said it and the bus passed, I'd have been like, babe, I'd have been like, everyone, man, the girl didn't have she didn't have 3 minutes to explain herself. Allow her. Chuckie, it's a podcast. If you cannot make yourself clear there, you have to if I do something here and it's not clear and people get at me, the last thing I'm looking for is like any sympathy. I've done it wrong. This is a service. This is a responsibility. As much as I love it, it's a fucking responsibility. If you don't live up to the responsibility, you have to deal with the consequences, and you've only got yourself to blame. It's that simple.
No. I don't think that she said it right. I just think it was blown out of proportion. And bearing in mind, remember, there was a lot of people that went through a lot more worse things than me. But remember, I went through the pandemic as well. Remember, I went through the pandemic as well. My stepdad was dying in front of my eyes, and I lost a lot of my work. But you know what? Bearing in mind, what I'm trying to achieve in life is nothing to what she is aspiring to at all. However, I had to deal with the circumstances that I was in and maneuver in a certain way. I had to do that. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't have been able to sit in front of you, bro, and have a conversation with you about Poet with the mind that I had and the stability within that mind to be able to do that without breaking down and crying or whatever it may be. But for me, like, I knew I had a certain understanding, and I also understood that, like, for me, I had to deal with this, but also I had to do certain things in order for me to. I had to try my best to be as smart as I could, to keep my mind as sane as I possibly could be in that time, and I succeeded in that. I believe.
Good on you, Geezer. I'm happy for you. But you're a big man. She's 22 years old. Some of the people around her are about 17, 16 years old. 18, some of the people that love her. They don't have the knowledge that we have in life. They had the experience that we've had. So her main consumer is primarily a little bit ignorant to life.
Right.
And that's the information you want to give them. How does that help anyone, Chuckie? My whole thing is this. Like I said, and I've learned it a lot through the pandemic, me being able to sit on Halfcast, have a group, or HC, sorry, and loads of people watching me, oh God, and Chuckie's here, Callum's here. For me to have this job, like, only now, more than ever, I am so grateful, appreciative and thankful. I understand this is hard work and all of that. But I'm not going to go, you can do it as well. The truth is you might not be able to. But you see, whatever you can... You see, whatever you can do...
That's life.
Exactly. So whatever you can do for yourself, that's what I would advise you to do. I wouldn't make it general. Do you know why? My life ain't been general.
But honestly, can I be honest with you?
She just shouldn't be giving general advice.
I know that we know the name of the I know we have named the name of the podcast already.
Have we?
We do generalize as well. I will say
no, of course,
and we do that.
But you know
what
I can generalize? I can generalize because I'm talking to a small community of people. If I generalize within that, I reckon I'm only speaking to them. They'll know what I'm talking about.
Can I just say,
Molly May is a pop act, my nigga. So when you are Molly May, you're not just speaking to your community, you're speaking to communities you've never even been around. So when you say and you speak, you're giving them advice, Chuckie. Whether you like it or not, that's the nature of your business.
Yeah.
My business don't go chat to William in fucking Sunderland. If it does, me love you, but you know who I'm here for.
Yeah.
Molly May's not like that.
Can I just interpret it for some of you lot that don't read between the lines and whatnot? Yeah.
God.
Basically, success is what you believe success is. Yeah, and you have 24 hours in a day to reach that if you work smart.
So what Molly May should do, if you're watching, darling, employ him. Because you're rubbish at it. You're rubbish. I don't like when you talk.
So listen, if it means that you just want to sell a young t-shirt or you just want to, you understand what I'm saying, stop selling thing on the road and just get a light job, that's success. You got 24 hours to make that happen.
Yeah, but Chuckie, you've had enough of life experience, it seems, that you can give
That's
that
what
advice.
we're here.
Molly, January, February, March, April, May. That was a stinker.
Hey, Boris has had a stinker as well.
Oh my!
We ain't got time. Howler, have you got any howlers quickly?
Boris, straight away, big man. I saw another guy with similar hair to you as well. I don't know what his name was.
Yeah,
He's having a.
what was that
what was
I thought
that?
he was wearing a wig.
I thought he was Michael who?
Something beginning with something B.
I've got a look at this.
No, F. Michael Frabicant.
I'm not gonna go into too much detail.
He's a member of parliament.
A member of parliament.
But I don't know exactly what he does.
Listen, honestly, what you need to do is take your missus's fucking wig off your head and you need to just wake up as well. You look like a stinker, and how can I take you serious? Am I watching Black Mirror or is this life? Boris Johnson now, like, Boris, you have 3 baby mums and 7 kids. In my head, you're a yardie. You're not good at telling the truth. You're good at inconvenience. This is inconveniencing me now. BJ, I bet you got a lot of those in your lifetime. You need to stop with the bullshit, fam. Just go out of office and do a documentary and tell us the truth, because you were partying in number 10. You have 7 picnic. I don't believe you were following COVID guidelines. I'm sorry, that's just me. Who else have we got? Now, this guy, I love him. Chuckie, you'll love him as well.
Go on.
Callum, you will grow to love him, because the information I'm going to give you will make you go, what? Now, he did beat up Freddie Gibbs in Miami, and I found that gangster. You know I love him. From Dipset, Bird Gang. Come on. But lips in your mum. That's crazy, Jim Jones. That's crazy, my brother. Like, you said afterwards it was a joke.
Context.
There was a podcast. Obviously, Jim Jones on a campaign right now. He just released a song with Migos. It's a fucking banger. I like it. Obviously, I'm a Jim Jones fan. One of the probably the best rapper in Dipset right now. Crazy. But he came out on a podcast with Angela Yee. I watched 3 minutes of it and turned it off because I didn't actually want to get there, but I wanted to watch it so I could talk about it now. But then I just found the clip and watched it, and he broke down the first person he was ever kissing was his mum, and it was tongues, and the justification for it was that she was a young mum. Now,
what,
bro?
Really,
that
bro?
Echoed.
Obviously, I'm not as old as Jim Jones, so I don't know what young mums are doing back then. But I just hope, because you know what it is, yeah? It's a whole different world. What it makes me think is
stinker, though.
No, it makes me think it's a stinker, but you know what I think? It broadens the stinker. Now I don't think he's the only one.
Yeah.
I think there's other mums that were out here lipsing their sons.
Biscuit.
That's outrageous.
And the real stinker doesn't lie with Jim Jones. It lies with the mothers.
Biscuit.
It lies with the mothers.
It does, actually.
Biscuit. Don't call Jim Jones Biscuit. Jim Jones is still my brother.
No, I'm saying, you're saying I don't think he's the only person that's done it. I'm saying, well, judging by how Biscuit was moving, feeling up his mum in the kitchen and that.
Probably.
No, I mean...
Biscuit's mum used to lips him. That is
No, I'm joking.
mad.
I'm joking.
I don't think you were. The last one I'm going to do with is Australia.
Oh, go on.
You've had a bit of a stinker. Now, first of all, I've seen your news reporters on television taking the piss out of man like Djokovic. I've also seen that you're now saying that leaving your house for work isn't a suitable reason unless you're double vaxxed. So people can only leave their house if they're not double vaxxed. How much like accurate this is, I don't know. But this whole situation of 1 hour exercise and basically everyone's being forced to get double vaxxed. So Djokovic goes, I'm going to this fucking Australian Open, I'm going to play a bit of tennis. He's not on this vaccination thing. But he carried out the correct procedure in order to be let into the country. So he had to go stay somewhere where you know, if you're not vaccinated or
Government
quarantine, so on, and then you leave. My man still had to go court, and the court and the judge had to give him permission to go and play the Australian Open, only to find out that the head of medicine can still chuck him out of the country whenever they want, despite the fact he's done everything legal.
Really?
2 people, including a referee, another tennis player, they've been thrown back to their country because of this. One individual was from the Czech Republic, another was from somewhere in Scandinavia, don't quote me. Right. So it's all legal what they've done, right. But because people are not happy with it, it seems like people have got a power trip on Australia. They're just shipping people back. I think you've put the pressure on the fact that you've told everyone in the country you have to double vax. So when someone comes over who's not double vax and they're just strolling around, the whole country's angry at them. They shouldn't be angry at Djokovic. They should be angry at you, Australia, or whoever is responsible for chatting this type of nonsense. Right. Not everywhere in the world is doing this, There's alternative ways to deal with COVID. Let's keep people safe, but let's keep people happy as well. Otherwise, we're going to get more angry people because of Molly May. Just don't. Someone give her COVID. Let her sit down, be safe in her house for 7 days. Don't want her to die or anything like that. But just shut up, Molly, alright? Fuck yeah. No more podcasts for you, man. But yeah, that's my howler, man. Australia, massive. And I'm a fan of Australia.
If you got any howlers as well, send them to Poet, man.
I'm only trying to do 3 a week, man.
Yeah,
that was Djokovic, Jim Jones in Australia. I did have Boris Johnson, though. I can't believe he has 3 baby mums. I love him.
Boris Johnson, yeah. What is funny about the Boris thing for me is that, like, this man, at the time, in the height of the pandemic, this was in May. This was when everyone was only allowed to be around one person, And
the weather was good, and
the weather
wanted to be out.
Everyone wanted to just be out.
It was in May, innit? And apparently it was the hottest day of the year. And there was one guy in Parliament who was fuming.
The funny thing is that obviously first he denied being there, right? Mm-hmm. At the shubs in the garden, because that's basically what it was.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. He denied being at the shubs in the garden. Then he recently admitted that he was at the shubs in the garden, but said that they were unaware that it was shubs. He basically said he was unaware it was a shubs.
Like kind of spontaneous, like it just happened.
Yeah, it was like, and everyone worked together anyway, and we was all segregated and separated and whatever it may be. Listen, he's having a laugh, but it's not even him so much for me, man. It's just, even though that is a stinker, it is this guy who looks like he's got that mop on his head. I'm like, how can this man ever talk to me about any type of politics looking like that with a straight face? It's almost like it's almost like he thinks that we are actual dickheads. You know that?
Let me
Like-
show you something.
But I
Boris
think most
Johnson
of
is how old?
politics is like that.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Boris Johnson is 57. His latest baby mum is 33. Like, understand what
That's
he's
legendary.
on.
Though. That's sick.
Know what he's on.
He's outside.
He's outside in number 10, 11 and 12. He don't give a... He might be in number 5 in Hornsey. Shout out number 5 Hornsey, Chip, my brother. You don't know. Cuz Alexander Boris de Pfeffel Johnson. He was born in New York.
Who? What?
This is
Boris?
mad. He was born in New York City.
Mad. I didn't know that.
He was born in New York. That's his official portrait. Absolutely. Honestly, any ladies that lay down with him, his chat must be wicked.
Nah, I reckon he's smashing everything.
I was gonna say.
I reckon he's smashing everything in the yard.
Yeah.
In number 10.
You reckon so?
Number 10.
Yeah,
Him?
man.
I
He's
reckon
smashing
he's had a
everything
couple
in there,
number
bro.
10 for sure.
Who's had more?
Smashing everything, bro.
Him or my brother?
Matt Hancock.
Come on.
It's Boris.
Boris, but he's
is
more on the
god.
low.
Boris
He's
is gone.
smart about it.
Yeah, but I think
Yeah. He knows where the cameras are.
I think you know what, Matt is probably like super like probably scatty with it.
Yeah.
Just you know what I mean, trying to do everything.
Almost
Whereas
wants to
Boris
show
is the
off.
one you hear about like what? Like oh you might say to Boris this is what Boris is. You say to Boris, yo, like, who's that secretary that's doing thing or whatnot? And then he'll say, oh yeah, so and so. And like that, you'd be like, what? What, do you know her? And that, and be like,
So is that convenience or
and you just know what?
Yeah.
And you'll say to Boris, what, her as well?
Isn't it?
Like, what's going on? Like, and then he's just not even really saying too much.
Yeah.
You know.
He should drop a mixtape.
He's outside, trust me. Is there anything anyone needs to know about as well?
Koji Radical's got a new single dropping. It would have dropped already. I'm in the video. Wretch is there. Cashtastic's there. Also, Chucks, fuck me, bruv. Actually, don't. You're my friend.
Pause.
For lava for them, boy. Jesus.
Pause.
No, wait. Koji.
Can you put
Shout
this
out Koji.
Go on.
Do you know what he done, yeah? He sent me something, bro. From these guys called Shits and Gids Podcast. And everyone knows, I don't even watch this podcast. I'm gonna keep this real. 8 minutes, he goes, we watch 8 minutes in. These man were just bigging me up for about 10 minutes, bruv.
Nah, big damn up.
And I've very rarely do I watch stuff and I'm just like, and my kids are there, you know.
Yeah, that's nice.
Mother and my kids are there, we're all watching it and we're like, what's going on? Like, it was, bro, honestly, thank you so much. I won't lie to you, that made me feel really, really special, bro. It was beautiful, guys.
That.
So,
Love that. Honourable shout out to them.
100%,
Honourable
bro.
shout out to them. Constituted by Nature. Some
gigs.
beard stuff, by the way. It's one of the things that I use a lot. There's another brand that I use, but this one is really good too. Yeah. Constituted by Nature. Their products are absolutely banging. I can't even lie. That's the name on the Instagram. So if you're looking for any beard product that is actually good, check that out.
Oh my God, sorry to just go back.
on.
Everyone knows, royal family, it's not that I don't like you, but when you give the gold back, I swear to God, I'll be cool with you lot. Prince Andrew stripped of military titles. Why? They're no longer going to defend his sexual abuse case. The truth is coming.
Let me tell you this now, yeah. The Queen
Ooh.
has not been wanting to fuck with this brother. I'm gonna be
for
honest
real.
with you. I've been feeling that. I've been thinking she's not really. I got a lot of takes on the Queen, yeah. That like I know people will be surprised about or whatnot, but I just think I was saying this to Specs and that even on No Rules, yeah. I was like, you see when you see her driving around in a Jeep and that, yeah, and she's just trying to just on a whipping excursion on the thing or whatnot, yeah. Do you know what I believe she's doing? I reckon she's called my man from the Congo or whatnot and said, listen, I'm going to try and drop the jewels off in the thing. What do you need to do? Get one of the man them to come and I'm going to drop the jewels off. But she can't do it because every time she's trying to drop the jewels off in the range, someone catches her, bro. That's what I think. Someone is catching her every time she's trying to drop the jewels off.
Call me. I got you, fam. I got you. We got you. 100%. Oh, cool, weird young thug. You know about them.
We'll
tunes,
talk
don't
about
you?
this brother in a piece anyway. We
That's
gotta
interesting.
go. Love and guidance, everyone. Thanks for listening, yeah? Love.